Now to Decision 2022 as eyes of America wait on the Maricopa County Elections Department to finish Tuesday's midterm voting count. We're tracking the latest developments this afternoon.
Team 12's Bianca Bono joining us now live from the Maricopa County Tabulation Center where all the action is happening. Bianca, are there any updates on when we should expect a final count?
He's going to say a few words and we'll take some questions. I know we had a lot of questions yesterday. We don't have as much to tell you. Obviously, we'll have results a little bit later on and we'll talk about that. So with that, Chairman Gates.
Thanks, Fields. Good to see everyone again today. Happy Veterans Day to all of our veterans out there. As I mentioned yesterday, Veterans Day is a holiday in Maricopa County, but obviously we continue to work here and thrilled to be able to continue to move through the process. We have several veterans who are involved in the vote counting process here, and so we actually paused today to just recognize all of those veterans who were a part of this. Again, taking their Veterans Day. We know many of them saved democracy, and now they're serving democracy today, so we're really thrilled about that. Give you guys an update on what you will be hearing later today. In the 8 o'clock hour, we will have another vote drop. Somewhere around 80,000 votes to be reported again, just like last night. And when you figure that in, that'll bring us then below 300,000 ballots that'll be left to tabulate. So again, moving through that in that same fashion that we talked about yesterday. Give you a little bit of information on the ballots that will be reported in that 8 o'clock hour. We will be reporting a decent amount of the election day votes, those votes that were in-person election day votes, the 17,000, good amount of those. And then we will also have the remainder of the early votes from before election day. We had a few thousand left. Those should be reported. But the majority of the votes that will be reported this evening are going to be early ballots dropped off on election day. So this will be the first report that we have had that include the early ballots that were dropped off on election day. And then something else very important in the process is the hand count audit. And the hand count audit is going to start tomorrow. Now, the hand count audit is mandated by law. There's been a lot of discussion of that recently, especially in some of the other counties around Arizona. This is a very important part of the process. It's required under Arizona law, and this hand count audit allows us to ensure that the machines are operating correctly. This will be a statistically significant amount of ballots that will be involved, and there's two parts of it. First of all, there are the
You've been listening to a live news conference from the Maricopa County Elections Office, the Tabulation Center. There's Bill Gates, the Maricopa Board Chairman, bringing us an update on the very latest on where things stand with counting these votes. He just mentioned the fact that we're expecting another drop of some 80,000 ballots at around 8 o'clock tonight, which will then put the county below 300,000 still left to count.
Yeah, and you've got a lot of those, as he mentioned, being those early ballots that were physically dropped off into that door 3 that we've been hearing about all week. And of course, Team 12's Bianca Bono is there, and she is covering this story for us. So we'll check back in with her in just a few minutes. But nice to hear from the chairman on an update and getting those numbers around 8 o'clock. So we'll be sure to stay on top of that. And we do want to take a live look inside the Tabulation Center from the County Elections Department there. There's a live feed as we recap where it stands right now. Right now, we do have 78% of all votes from Arizona's midterms counted. That's roughly 1,300 of the 1,700 precincts around the state. And we may not see the final results for days. We've been hearing officials say that, elections officials say that the record high number of early ballots dropped off on election day still has a massive impact on that tabulation process. Early ballots must be scanned in, signature verified, processed by a bipartisan panel, then tabulated. Officials say election workers are already working around the clock, 14 to 18-hour days, even working on this Veterans Day. And as he said, they took a minute to recognize the veterans working in that process as well.
Yeah, the big news there, those first ballots, 290,000 early ballots dropped off on election day. We will finally start to get some numbers from those. A lot of folks definitely waiting on those. So we'll get that in the 8 o'clock hour. Meanwhile, let's get an update on the very latest when it comes to these races. They're very tight right now, especially the battle for Arizona governor between Democrat Kitty Hobbs and Republican Kari Lake. You can see right there, Kitty Hobbs still holding on to her lead right now, coming in with just under 51% of the vote. Kari Lake almost 49% as well, holding on to that lead.
And if you do want to see those results in real time as those numbers are coming in, you can pull out your phone. We do have access to those results on the QR code right there. You can just point your camera at the screen and it'll take you directly to the elections results page on our and to our website, 12news.com. It has all the latest numbers for local and national races.